Happy day, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Taotaomona Tales this October, the spooky season, to tell you not just the stories that might have been chilling for many of us growing up, but also to learn a little something about the people from our past. And joining us now is KUM's very own Peter Anderson. Happy day, Pete.
Happy day.
So this year around, because we've told Taotaomona stories here at KUAM for years, but it's rare that we get to hear from people that are close to us, like yourself. You've worked here with the KUM team for decades, but whenever you hear of the word Taotaomona, what's the emotion, what's the feeling that comes up for you?
Fear.
Okay.
These are our ancestors that, came from the past. What I was told that, we always have to respect them. Respect the, whatever place you encounter, whatever jungle or river, you always have to ask.
Why fear?
Well, because we don't know what it is, really. There's so many different, descriptions of what it is, and I just don't know.
Leaves it open to our imagination, right?
Yeah,
open to interpretation.
Wow.
But the reason we have Pete here as well is because he's had his own experience growing up.
Oh, yes, I did.
All right.
And it was, I think it was in that late 80s. My father-in-law had, when he retired from the military, he brought back a Chevy, 67 Chevy truck. And at that time, I had a Toyota four-wheel drive pickup. And he asked to trade, so we did. And when we traded, because he knew I really liked that Chevy truck, we traded it. I wanted to change things up on that truck. Put a better motor, bigger motor,
right?
Because it only had a 283 in it. So I was hanging out with my mechanic friend. He was the mechanic for Navy Exchange Garage.
Mm-hmm. How old were you at this time? By the way?
Oh God, I was probably 20, maybe 29, 30 maybe. Yeah. So when we were hanging out drinking, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to be looking for a motor for this Chevy truck, and if I find one, will you be able to help me switch it up? And he said, oh yeah, not a problem. In fact, he said we'll probably do it at his place because he has A-frame and all his tools. So a week later came, and I did find one, and I asked my mechanic friend, I said, hey, I found a motor. Are you busy on a Saturday? And he said, no. Then you want to come with me? It's down in Inaraha, and the motor's coming out from a Nova. I'm supposed to buy the whole car anyways. Mm-hmm. So we did. He said, that's not a problem. In fact, we used this. He had a Toyota Land Cruiser, one of the first ones. That was nice. And we went down to Inaraha and checked out this Nova, from this guy. And when he saw the Nova, he opened up the hood. He saw that motor's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, I think we'll be able to run this thing. All we needed was a battery, some gas, and water.
Simple.
Yeah. And sure enough, he cranked it up and it was running. And I told him, I said, you drive it, I'll follow you. So we took the Nova back to Santa Rita at his place, parked it underneath the A-frame. And then once we got, once we kind of cooled off the Nova, we started taking off that motor. So once we did that, we set the motor to the side, and then we pulled in my Chevy truck. I asked him, I go, are we going to be able to do this all day?
Yeah.
So it was an
old
day.
Was it a hot day?
It was we were under pretty good shade. So, we took out the motor out of the Chevy truck, and then brought back the Nova engine that we took out earlier, and we slapped it into the truck. And we found out that the Nova didn't have some of the brackets. They're not the same, I guess, for the Chevy truck. Mm-hmm. So I told him, I said, hey man, we got there's 3 motors in the ranch. If whatever we're missing, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find it. at the ranch because there's 3 Chevy engines sitting underneath a mango tree, all covered, you know. And he goes, man, it's, you know, probably good time to go get it, you know, go check this out and, you know, grab it before it gets dark. So we went into the ranch, and as we went into the ranch, you know, I showed him the tree, the mango tree that those motors are under. So we went under, you know, under the tree and went to the motors, and I first started to uncover the engines, and then he went to the other engines to see what other parts we're gonna need. So I started taking out a part from this first engine that I knelt down to, and then I was, you know, when I looked up at him, he was still standing. He was looking behind me, so I turned around to look behind me and see what he was looking at, and then when I turned back to ask him, "What are you looking at?" he was already passing me, and I go, "Oh," he goes, "Hey man, you don't mind if I pick this mango?" And I go, and I looked and I said, "Wow, there's mango, you know." It's not even mango season.
What time of year was this?
This was like in January,
Yeah.
February, yeah.
And
something
mango
like-
season is?
No, mango season is way earlier, or you know, it's in mid part of July sometimes, and then you know in December I think. But yeah, it was way past mango season, and I go, there's no flowers or anything in the tree, but I kept looking up at the tree to see whether it's you know, maybe there's more mangoes. But you know, I told him, I said, go and pick it, and to top it off, it was only one.
Just the one?
Just the
How
one.
big was this mango?
And it was a nice big sized mango. I go, wow, I actually saw the mango. But I go, God, I didn't even see that coming in. So I told him, I said, pick it, you know. And I told him the faucet was right over there if you're gonna rinse it up and everything. So he did. He went over, he rinsed it, he came back, devouring that mango. And I'm still taking out parts, and I'm still looking up at the tree like, God dang, they got mangoes here.
Unaware of what was about to happen, of course. You're
Right.
just thinking, stunned that there's this lone mango. Maybe it was hanging around after mango season.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's just unusual, you know, that you only have one out of the
Okay.
whole tree. It's a huge tree.
So we got back to work on the engine, or
So
pulling parts.
Put parts. We got the parts. We took the parts home, and when we took the parts home, we slapped it all into the Chevy truck. Got the truck, you know, running. It was running really great. I thanked him. I told him, I said, hey, you know, I'll get some more beers, you know, some nights, and I'll come check you out. Well, you know, he's a very quiet guy, very nice.
Was this late at night already?
Yeah, it was already dark after we got the truck running, the Chevy truck. So I took the truck home. Next day, I took the truck to work. It was great. Second day, I took the truck again to work. And then right after work, I got out a little bit early from work. I decided to drop by my mom's to check and see, you know, I haven't seen her. So when I got to my mom's, you know, she was on the phone as usual. And she just pointed at me and just pointed at me to sit on the chair, you know, wait for her. So I waited, and then when she got off the phone, she goes, boy, did you go on Saturday or something? Yeah, over the weekend to the ranch with Uncle's son? I go, oh yeah. So what did you guys do? I go, well, we just took parts out of the engine, you know, for the Chevy engines that are covered underneath the mango tree near the river.
Wait, you didn't tell your mom that you were going to the ranch that
No,
day?
I didn't. No, she was talking to the phone. That's
Yeah.
who she was talking to. Was my mechanic's dad. Had called my mom, and they were talking about it. And they, you know, was telling my mom, you know, that you know I took the son in, you know, and got some parts. And you know, my mom was telling me, goes, what else did you guys do? He goes, that was it. We just took parts out of the engine. What, you know, I was asking my mom, what was going on? She goes, boy, when you and so-and-so left the ranch, they followed him. I go, wait, Mom, it was just me and him in his truck. So nobody followed. What do you mean, Mom? They followed. And you know, tomorrow she says, Matatiji na ni tao to? I go, oh.
What does that mean?
Followed by a person.
Okay.
Yeah, they person followed him.
Were you still thinking, no, it was just the two of us, Mom?
Yeah, yeah. All along, I kept thinking, and and then when I realized when my friend's dad called my mom, I forgot that they're they really believe in these type of things, I guess, or what. But I just said, so what happened? He goes, Uncle said that when he tried to go to sleep, he went into his room, he lied down in his bed, and somebody else lied down right next to him. I go, what? Yeah, and of course, Uncle said that he tried to ignore it because he told the dad everything.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to ignore it, and when he tried to ignore it, they started tickling his feet.
What?
I said, Mom.
But your mechanic never called you for the past 2 days about
never
this.
called me for this. That's how he is, though.
Okay.
He doesn't, he just keeps things to himself. Look, it's funny that he even told the dad the whole thing. So, when the dad was telling my mom all this, I tried to go, so what do they want me to do? And he goes, boy, Uncle, what if you can, before it gets dark, because it's getting dark, can you please go into the ranch and ask for forgiveness? Go, well, why I gotta go in? I'm not the one they followed.
Yeah.
And my mom goes, that's all you guys did at the ranch? Was you take parts? I go, well, Mom, he asked to pick the mango, and I was shocked to see that there was one mango, and my mom goes, it's not even mango season. I go, I know, that's what I said, but I told him go ahead and pick. He goes, oh my God, what? Uncle said that please can you go into the ranch and ask and tell him that you're sorry that you picked the mango and everything. You go, but besides that, that's my mango tree. My mom's just getting upset, but she said, please go in and ask, and tell him you're sorry about picking the mango. And I go, God, I gotta go in there and it's almost dark.
And was there any fears for you yourself at the time?
Oh yeah,
I could hear in your voice that you were just like, why do I got to do it? Was that a bit of fear for yourself?
It was. I was. Because of the story that I wasn't aware that this was happening. So I was looking for my other brother, but he's gone. I go, great. So I guess I got to go into the ranch by myself.
And what time was this?
And this was like maybe almost 6 o'clock.
Okay, at night.
6, yeah, almost getting dark, yeah. So I went ahead and took my Chevy truck, jumped into my Chevy truck, went to the ranch. I thought of asking or apologizing from way out on the road, right? But I go, damn, I'm pretty far.
Yeah.
So I said, oh God, I guess I've got to get closer. So I drove down to the ranch, closer to the tree. And when I look at the tree, I said, okay, maybe I'll turn this truck around and face the road, so that way, then leave the car running and leave the truck running, and then leave my door open, and then go out and start asking, and I started, what did I say there? I said, Guelo and Guela, Cosina dispensi atango ni tumifi mangamo. And malago pang falofan ginigita no falofan na sim mamaisim. And I had to say it twice.
Okay. Did you have to shout it? Did you have to
No,
proclaim it?
No, because I was pretty close to the tree,
Yeah.
So I said it twice, and after I said that, I jumped in my truck and boogied right out of there, went straight home. I go, God, I can't believe this, and then, I thought nothing of it. The next day, I didn't go stop by my mom after work. I just went straight home. I told, my mom called and said that Uncle called and wanted to thank you because his son is finally getting some rest. I go, great. I was telling my mom, I go, I still don't understand why I had to be the one to go in. They didn't follow me, but I went ahead and did it because he helped me with that truck and everything. So I hope everything was good.
So
and
your mechanic friend was losing sleep after just having
2 days.
that mango.
He did not sleep.
First off, the mango. What do you think that was, or what was the discussion with Mom and his dad, since they were the believers at the time?
Right. They well, I didn't
What's
mention.
the deal with the mango?
They didn't know. Well, they didn't know the mango. And I think maybe my friend, he told the dad about the mango. I didn't think the dad mentioned the mango to my mom. My mom didn't know about the mango after I told her.
Yeah.
And then they talked, and that's why when he called again the second time and told my mom to thank me because he's getting some rest and all that. I said, whoa, I'm happy it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a eerie thing, and I told my mom, I said, wow, that's strange because he's normally he keeps things to himself, but this one here, I guess they kind of mentioned that the dad caught him a few times out in the living room, trying to staying up all night again, watching TV or something, and that's when he broke the news to the dad, telling him about what's happening to him and everything. And just glad to help him get some rest. I did say that I'm gonna get some beer and stop by his place and actually find out from him what actually happened, and I did. After a while.
How long before you were able to link up with him?
About another 2-3 days later, I finally just bought some beer and stopped by his place, and we didn't talk about that at first. We just started, talking what we did for the day, housework, stuff like that.
Some small talk.
Yeah, and then finally I asked him, and what actually happened? And he goes, oh man, Pete, my dad called your mom. I go, yeah, I had to go in and apologize. And I'm thinking, it was the mango, huh? He goes, I don't know, man, Pete, but man, that mango he said that he enjoyed the mango. I go, God damn, I thought that was sour.
Mm-hmm.
Normally you get salt and pepper or something to eat that, but yeah, it was, but like I said, if you meet this guy that I'm talking about, he's a very gentle guy, very nice, long hair, but he was happy that he managed to get back to rest, and
so he believed in what was happening to him.
He believes it. Yeah.
What did he share with you when he heard what you had done to kind of help
Yeah,
him through that?
well, he asked me, he goes, he kept saying, in tomorrow, it's true, these things happen. I go, well, the thing that I do believe is just what happened to you, but I never challenge these things. I never try to challenge it or anything. That's how we're taught. We're taught to respect it. Everywhere we go, us guys, when we want to, use the restroom, we go in and we ask. And every time I no matter where, when I go in and try to take a leak or whatever, just I always have to ask.
I'm sure you shared this story with your family, with your kids, with your grands, if they ever have questions about the Taotaomona.
Oh yeah. I always have to tell them to respect the place because it's might be from the past, I guess, things that went through with our people back then. You going through jungles to get to the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a trail, stuff that they go through usually, and it's interesting, and I just respect it.
Seeing as you have that respect, Pete, and you were able to use what you learned through your mom and through your elders.
Yeah.
Did you have any other experiences or encounters from then on?
Oh no, I've heard from other neighbors, especially that goes to the river a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them said he saw something that he just never thought he'd ever seen before. He couldn't describe it because it was supposed to be something hairy, white, and with holes throughout the whole body thingy. I go, okay. And at that age, he was probably only 14, 15 years old at that time. And I said, yeah, I've gone to that river so many times, man. I never, encountered anything.
Which river is this?
It's in our village.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two rivers actually. They're not a huge river. There's one goes through the village, and then the other one's through the mountain coming down towards my ranch, which is, they said it's a kind of underwater spring. It's still there. So, that was, there's so many other stories. It's just, I've heard of them. The one with my friend with helping me with the Chevy truck, my Chevy truck, that was the one that
stuck with you.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, I just, because the guy I'm with, all the time, I just didn't think that he'll be, be believing anything like that, but I forgot that, they're from way down south.
Yeah.
And their beliefs are very, very high.
Do you think that it also matters on what part of the island that you're located, whether you're in Jigo or whether you're in Malasu, that the respect or what you do when you're in certain areas changes, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, the same. What you do down in the south to respect, you do the same thing in the north. It's the same thing.
Do you think that respect also kind of helps you through the word that you said first off when we first started this interview, the fear?
Yeah. Well, because like I said, I don't know what it is. If I don't know what it is, then of course I'm going to be scared of it. I think that's what everybody would think. That I never encountered it. Never. And all my years, even going to the ranch, even being at the ranch by myself, even sleeping at the ranch by myself, like, I just never had a problem. So, I don't, when these stories come up about the Taotaomonas, I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying I'm gonna leave it at.
What advice, with your experience, Pete, though, what advice would you give to everyone else out there, especially the younger generation, that they always kind of lump in the word Taotaomona with something to be afraid of?
Well, well, you want to be afraid, that's all, you shouldn't be afraid, really, because you don't know what it is. But, wherever whatever adventure you go into in jungles and areas unknown to you, always respect the area. And ask before you proceed, because sometimes that's when these things happen. It's when you don't ask.
Yeah. It's kind of the unexpected.
Yeah. That's mainly when it happens.
Okay.
But
anything else you want to share, just about the lessons of the Taotaomona, of our ancestors, so that people really drive home the fact that these aren't things these aren't people or entities to be afraid of. This is something that we should continue to live with and pass down. The stories we should continue to pass down so that there isn't that fear.
Whether you like it or not, we're always going to be living with it. So like I said, always respect. That's my main the main thing I would say to everyone. Just respect the place.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. No more lone mangoes at the ranch since then?
No more. I haven't really.
And we won't be picking them for sure, right? Lesson learned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right, Pete, thank you so much for your time. In the next car you fix, we'll try to bring your own mangoes with you next time.
Yeah.
Good lesson. Thank you so much. Sizos Masi.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys next time for the next Taotaomona Tales here on KUAM News. Take care. Be safe.